Morning, folks. How are y'all? On this beautiful, fresh Saturday morning, 9 o'clock here, I have my eggs on. I have some eggs and toast, boiled egg and toast. But I want to put a video on. Well, I put 2 videos on last week in French on me YouTube, and it's about the medical system in France. Now, I had to put 2 videos on because the first one I got it wrong. And what I was talking about is, because my missus, she's a nurse. And over here, she works in a hospital. It's a hospital and a retirement home. So she's working with these people now for years. So she knows these people, And in retirement homes, very often, like 1 a week, you be getting, people be dying of old age, and they have sickness and old age and stuff. And what I was trying to put onto my video is that my missus, with the doctor's permission, they're allowed, when people are in pain and at the end of their life, they're allowed to give an injection, which is just, it's like codeine injection, just to help the pain as they're leaving this earth, It's what you do in all hospitals, everywhere. But I got it wrong on my first video. I didn't state enough that it was codeine. I said that they give them an injection to help them go on their way. And people thought, that your missus is killing people. She'll go to hell. I was getting text back like she'll go to hell for that, and that's not right. But that's not it. They do that in Switzerland, if you like, and it's called euthanasia. If someone wants to end their life because they're paralysed from here to here, they don't want to carry on, they don't want to live handicapped and stuff like that, you can go to Switzerland and you can put your case out on the table, and they look at your case and they say, okay, if that's what you want, it's legal to do so in Switzerland, and they can give you an injection and you can end your life. Now, I think it's only Switzerland actually in the world that they're allowed to do that. So I was wrong with my first video, and people thought that's what I was saying, and the missus like seeing the video and said, take that off or do something about it, because it's illegal to do that in France. You can't say that that's what she's doing, or that's what doctors over here do. So I done my second video to explain to the people that I got it wrong. So I put my hands up in the air, when I get it wrong, I get it wrong. And my second video was saying, no, you don't do that in France because it's illegal. But what you can do, as you do in Ireland, England, America, is when people are coming to the end of their lives and they're in pain, you always give them something to help them to take the pain away. And and they bring in the family saying they've only got a day or 2 left or a couple of hours left, and the family want them to be out of pain, So they do give them that codeine injection just to help the pain while they're leaving this earth and going to wherever they're going to go after that, I don't know. So yeah, that's why I put the second video out, because people were, bad, saying bad things, about me missus and stuff like that, and that's not at all what it is, what she does. She just, doctors over here, like I said, they help people on their way, so they're not in pain. It's a codeine injection, it's legal. But my video, what I wanted to put out was the fact that you're a nurse, yeah, or you're a doctor, but mainly a nurse working in hospitals, especially where my missus in a hospital, old folks home. She's with these people for years, looking after them every day, and they get close to people. You get close to the patients because for years you're working with them every day and stuff like that. And she does see them, a lot of them pass, And I talked to her and I said to her, but how does that, I said I wouldn't be able to do that, every day, seeing someone I know, seeing for the last couple of years and watching them die, And I said, is there help for you guys? Is there psychiatrists on call or in the hospital, so when that happens you can go and talk to someone, and because you're losing a friend at the same time. And she says, no, there's nothing installed for that in the hospitals over here, or in Ireland or in England or anywhere, I don't think. And I think that's a shame. I think that's terrible, because these nurses, thank God we have them. And you have to be really strong in your head and in your heart to be able to do that job, to be able to be around someone for 10 years, maybe more, and then watch them die off, and then someone else comes in and, you know, you change that bed and somebody else comes in and takes that room over, and it's a new person, and that person's gone, you just have to get back to work. And, you know, I couldn't do that, you know, and my heart would break doing that all the time. And that's why I says to her, is there not something there for you guys that, you know, you can talk to somebody, or... And she says, no, that's our job, and that's what you have to deal with, and you have to carry on. And I think that's so brave, you know. I think it's amazing. These people, you know, they don't get paid enough. And, you know, the most important people in the world are nurses and doctors, you know, firemen, police. And that's the video I was trying to put out. And like the first video, I got it wrong, and I've done the second video to make amends. But the people didn't, you know, most of these people didn't read, they didn't look at my second video where I was explaining that, no, it's just codeine to give them over here, just to help them on their way, to take the pain away. And I'm getting a lot of backlash over it. So yeah, just a little video, and I to put out that in English, because it was in French, because I have to try and mix it up a bit now, you know, for me French friends and me English friends, me English speaking friends. So yeah, I just think, you know, the medical system all over the world is getting worse and worse. You know, we're finding it even harder to get appointments. You know, you could die before waiting to get operated on. In most countries, in France, it's better, but it's getting a lot worse. You know, 15 years ago, France was top 5 in the world for the medical system. Great. 15 years ago, now they're down to 14. You know, and that's not blaming it all on money and stuff like that. So, you know, it's declining. It's getting worse and worse. So that was the video I want to put out. And yeah, all you nurses and stuff like that, keep up the good fight. If my first video I got it wrong, I do apologise for that, and I hope people will see my second video or this video, and you'll understand more on what I was talking about. Take care. Press them buttons, Gary Slice of Life, and keep up the good fight. Love you all.